Now, before we dive in, let me be clear. Achieving financial freedom is not about earning a fortune. It's about making the most of what you have, living intentionally, and making strategic decisions that pave the way for a life of financial security and peace. With a $50 K salary, you might think that true financial freedom is out of reach. But I'm here to tell you that it's entirely possible. Imagine this. You're working a 9 to 5 job, bringing in $50,000 a year. The numbers might seem limiting at first glance, but what if I told you that this salary could be more than enough to create a life of stability, freedom, and even wealth? It's all about shifting the way we approach money, living below our means, and investing in the right places. Let's start with the basics. If we want to move from paycheck to financial freedom, we need to understand the three fundamental pillars of personal finance: earning, saving, and investing. First, let's talk about earning. The truth is, most people on a $50,000 salary aren't actively maximizing their earning potential. Sure, the standard salary might feel like a fixed amount, but there are opportunities to increase that number. Whether it's negotiating a raise at work, exploring side hustles, or gaining new skills that can propel you to a higher paying position, boosting your income doesn't have to be a mystery. For example, many professionals don't realize the power of continuous learning. By taking evening courses or certifications in your field, you increase your marketability. It's not just about waiting for a promotion, it's about creating opportunities for yourself. And let's not forget the growing gig economy. Whether it's freelance writing, tutoring, graphic design, or even driving for a ride-sharing service, these side gigs can help supplement your salary. If you're not making at least an additional $5,000 to $10,000 a year in side income, you're leaving money on the table. So that's the first step: earn more. But we need to do more than just increase our income. We need to manage our money wisely, and that starts with saving. Now, when we talk about saving, the first question that always comes up is, how much should I save? It's a valid question. The standard advice is to save 20% of your income. But for someone on a $50 K salary, that's $10,000 a year, which may sound impossible, but let's break it down. Start with small, manageable goals. Set up an emergency fund. Aim for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. This fund acts as a safety net in case of unexpected job loss or emergencies. Having this buffer is one of the first steps toward financial freedom because it removes the anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck. Next, you need to think about your long-term savings. We often overlook retirement savings, especially when we're young and don't feel the pressure of future financial needs. But the sooner you start saving for retirement, the better. Contributing to a 401k or an IRA is one of the best ways to build wealth over time. Many employers offer a 401k match, which is essentially free money. Don't leave that on the table. But beyond the traditional retirement accounts, you also need to think about creating passive income streams. And that's where investing comes into play. Investing is often seen as something reserved for people with big salaries or significant savings, but that's a myth. You don't need to be a millionaire to start investing. In fact, starting small is often the best way to learn. Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of compound interest? It's the magic of making money work for you. By investing just $500 a month into a low-cost index fund with an average annual return of 7%, you could have over $1 million in 30 years. Yes, that's right. $500 a month. It might not seem like a lot, but over time, the power of compounding interest can transform that small contribution into significant wealth. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't have $500 a month to invest, and I get that. So let's start smaller. Even $100 a month can add up over time. The key is consistency. It's not about how much you invest right now. It's about getting started and building the habit of investing. Over time, you'll be amazed at how much you can accumulate. But beyond just putting money into an index fund, there are other ways to invest. Real estate, for instance, can be a powerful tool for building wealth. Some people think real estate is out of their reach, but in reality, there are ways to get involved in property investment without a fortune. Real estate investment trusts rights allow you to invest in property without the need to buy actual property. With platforms like Fundrise, you can start with as little as. Another investment option to consider is peer-to-peer lending or even cryptocurrency, though I always advise caution with more volatile investments. The point is, there are many different vehicles to invest your money. You just need to do your research and choose what aligns with your financial goals. But it's not just about investing in stocks or real estate. It's also about investing in yourself. The best investment you can make is in your own knowledge and skill set, whether it's improving your career prospects, learning about financial planning, or diving into a new hobby that could eventually become a side business. When you invest in your personal growth, the returns are endless. Now, while all of this might sound great, we also need to address something that often holds people back: debt. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to financial freedom, and it can feel like an anchor weighing you down. But the truth is, it's possible to get out of debt, even with a 50. The first step is to confront your debt head on. Make a list of everything you owe and prioritize paying off high interest debts like credit cards. First, a snowball method can be incredibly effective here. Start by paying off the smallest debts to gain momentum. Once those are gone, tackle the larger ones. The key is consistency and creating a plan. Debt can feel like a mountain, but just like reaching the summit of any mountain, it's a step-by-step process. And once you start climbing, it gets easier. As we move toward financial freedom, we can't forget the importance of living within our means. This doesn't mean depriving yourself of joy or living in a constant state of sacrifice, but it does mean making conscious choices about where your money goes. Tracking your spending is essential. You may find that you're spending money on things that don't add value to your life. Cutting back on unnecessary expenses can free up more money for saving and investing. But there's also another important piece of the puzzle: mindset. Achieving financial freedom isn't just about numbers, it's about having the right mindset. It's about understanding that wealth is built over time through discipline and smart decisions, not by lottery tickets or get-rich-quick schemes. It's about patience and persistence. You won't reach financial freedom overnight, but if you commit to making smart choices today, those small decisions will pay off in the long run. Finally, let's not forget about your network. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Financial freedom isn't a solo journey. It's about learning from others, sharing ideas, and growing together. In conclusion, achieving financial freedom on a $50,000 salary is not only possible, but it's also within your reach. By focusing on earning more, saving wisely, and investing in the right places, you can create a life of financial stability and freedom. It's not about the amount of money you make, it's about how you manage it. And remember, financial freedom is a journey, not a destination. Maximizing your income is the first and most obvious step in building financial freedom, and it goes beyond simply accepting the salary you're offered. It involves actively seeking ways to increase what you earn through various strategies, whether that's within your current job, through side hustles, or by investing in your skills for better opportunities down the line. One of the most effective ways to start is by negotiating your salary. Too many people accept the first offer they're given or fail to ask for raises at appropriate times. It's important to do your research on industry standards and understand the value you bring to the company. A well-timed and well-reasoned request for a raise can significantly increase your earnings, and in many cases, employers expect employees to negotiate. Another way to maximize your income is by exploring side hustles. In today's gig economy, there are endless opportunities to earn money outside of your primary job, whether it's driving for rideshare services, freelance writing, offering digital marketing services, tutoring, or even starting an e-commerce business. Side gigs can supplement your income and, in some cases, grow into a full-time business. The beauty of side hustles is that they often provide flexibility, so you can choose something that aligns with your skills and interests, making it easier to maintain long-term. Lastly, investing in your education and skill set is essential for income growth. Technology is always evolving, and the demand for specialized knowledge increases. Whether it's learning a new programming language, obtaining a certification in a specific field, or mastering a high-demand skill like project management, education is a long-term investment that pays dividends in higher-paying roles. By continuously improving and expanding your skill set, you not only increase your earning potential, but also ensure job security in an ever-changing job market. Saving and investing wisely are two of the most powerful tools you have in building long-term wealth, especially on a $50K salary. The first part of this strategy is saving. It's not just about putting money away for a rainy day. It's about creating a cushion that allows you to navigate life's uncertainties without derailing your financial goals. Building an emergency fund should be your first priority. Aim to set aside 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a savings account where you can access it quickly if needed. This fund acts as a safety net in case of unexpected events like job loss, medical emergencies, or urgent repairs. Without an emergency fund, many people are forced to rely on credit cards or loans, which can put you further into debt. Once you've established a safety net, it's time to think about long-term financial growth. One of the best ways to secure your future is by consistently investing. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Even small contributions to a retirement account like a 401k or IRA can compound over time, building wealth in a way that's hard to replicate through regular saving alone. Many employers offer matching contributions for 401k plans, so it's crucial to take advantage of this free money. If your employer offers a 401k match, at least contribute enough to receive the full match, otherwise you're leaving money on the table. Beyond retirement accounts, it's important to consider other investment vehicles like stocks, bonds, or real estate. While investing does carry some risk, it also provides the opportunity to outpace inflation and increase your net worth over time. By focusing on a diversified investment strategy and making consistent contributions, you'll be on the path to building wealth that lasts. Smart saving and investing today create financial security tomorrow. Living within your means and avoiding debt are fundamental principles for achieving financial freedom, especially on a $50K salary. The core idea here is to ensure that your spending does not exceed your income. This may sound simple, but it's a habit that many people struggle with due to lifestyle inflation, poor financial planning, or a lack of awareness about where money is going. The first step is to take control of your spending by tracking every expense, whether it's through a budgeting app or a spreadsheet. Knowing exactly how much you're spending and on what is crucial. This can help you identify areas where you might be overspending, whether it's dining out, shopping, or subscriptions you've forgotten about. Once you have a clear picture of your expenses, the next step is to prioritize. Living within your means doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. It just means being strategic about how you allocate your money. Focus on the essentials first, like housing, transportation, and groceries, and then allocate funds for savings and investments. After that, consider what discretionary spending you can reduce or eliminate. It might mean cutting back on luxury purchases or rethinking your monthly subscriptions. But the goal is to ensure you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Avoiding debt is equally important. High-interest debts, such as credit card balances, can quickly spiral out of control, eroding your ability to save or invest. Pay off any existing high-interest debts as quickly as possible using strategies like the snowball or avalanche methods. Once your debt is under control, avoid taking on new debt unless it's absolutely necessary. Remember, debt is a barrier to financial freedom. And the less you owe, the more money you have available to save and invest, ultimately helping you achieve long-term wealth and security.